Hello students, good morning everyone. Today we are going to see the new topic of cyber security module 3. So it is the name of topic is access control and intrusion detection. So let us see it in detail. We are going to see access control consists of 4 elements. What are intruders and types of intruders? Access control in the sense, if I will give a live example, if in our college campus every faculty is allowed to give attendance to thumb recognition, and if that faculty is of that college, then only then thumb recognition will be executed. If that candidate is of other college, or if that faculty is of other college, then thumb recognition cannot be done in our college. So recognizing the thumb impression is through access control. Why this is done? Because we need to restrict the access. That means we need to secure our data. Why we are studying cyber security? We are studying cyber security. The reason is that we want to secure our data. We should not want that unauthorized user should access the data, and that should be our motto. Okay, so let's see in detail. Access control consists of 4 parts. One is subject, that is person or a thing doing something. Then object, static file or resource like printer or something. Operations like opening the file, reading the file, deleting the file. And a reference monitor, just like your operating system firewall. Now access control is concerned with the authorization, what a subject person is doing something is allowed to perform. That means if I am a student of MSc Computer Science, I should be only allowed to create and delete file in the lab. If I am a student of if I am not the student of the modern college, then I should not be allowed to create and delete and edit files, because that is restriction, because that is security point of view. If I am a student of modern college, then I can create, delete file and edit file on the computer in the lab. But if I am not a student of modern college, then I should not be allowed to create, edit, delete file in the lab. Okay, so that is something like authorized. You are the authorized user. Authorized users in the sense you have rights to create, delete file, because you are the student of MSc Computer Science modern college. Okay, that is allowed to perform. Then group of subject, access to object. Group of subject, access to object. Now if assignment is given to students, so FY student should only able to see the FY assignment. SY student should able to see only the SY assignment. Okay, that case. And TY students will see only the TY assignment. So like files or resource, you might have seen in the MS Teams that assignment are given. Okay, resources in the sense printers. Okay, enforces is a security policy limiting which action are allowed. Means if I am a student of modern college MSc Computer Science, what operations I can perform in the lab? Whether I can access server with the help of username and password, whether I can copy files from one user to another user, whether I can delete the files from different login. Okay, now let us take some example. Access control example. Suppose we have a company XYZ having 4 employees. Sandeep, who is accountant in that company, and Mithun, who is IT guy in that company, Mary, who is chief executive officer in that company, and Sam is a web designer of that company. So see what are the restrictions everyone have, we will see in detail. So financial database is there of company is there, external web server is there, and email server is there. Okay, so everyone access should be defined in the access control policy. In the access control policy, you might have seen in different like when you open an account or when you open any policy, what are the access control rights that are also mentioned in that. Sandeep can access financial database, yes, because Sandeep is accountant, so he can access the financial database. Mithun can access the external web server. Since a IT guy, he want to search something on the net or he want to get information from the net. Mary should be given access to email server and some restricted access external web server because she is a chief executive officer, so that's why she need to send mails to different employees, manager for different purposes. So she can access the external web server. Access control does allow certain subject to access certain object. Now here Sandeep, Mithun, Mary, and these are called subject, and Mithun is accessing some files from the web server, that is called object. So Sandeep is accessing the financial database, that is also called a financial database is called object. Mithun is get access to web server for different files, so web server can be called as object. Mary should have given access to email server and some restricted access to external web server, so she is accessing the web server, that is the means of object. Now access control are security features that control users and system communicate and interact with other system and resources. Access control is flow information between subject and resource. Now in the sense, access control flow of information between subject and resource. Now if you are accessing money from the ATM machine, that means you need to give your PIN number. So that is process is called, that is because you are the subject and you are accessing the different resources of the ATM machine for you want to withdraw or deposit money, that is called object. A subject is an active entity that requests access to a resource or data within resource. Here ATM machine might be calling it object, or we can say if you are accessing Gmail, then also you need to give username and password. That means there also the active entity subject is trying to access the resources, that is called object. So example, user, process, program, resource, computer, database, printer, file. Okay. Now once we know who is user, we know authorization level. Since FY students are not allowed to access the internet in the lab, SY students are also not allowed to access the internet in lab, but TY students are allowed to access the internet in lab because they have project. That means authorization level is decided that FI student will not access the lab because they are not having project. Okay, so in that case we know that once we know user is, we know that our authorization level that have and what we should not give them access. Access control can be combination of authentication and authorization. What is authentication and what is authorization? Authorizations in the sense, suppose I want to delete a file, but that file is not of my login, it is of my friend login, so I should not be allowed to delete that file because I am not the authorized user of that file. My friend is only the authorized user of that file, so he will allow to delete that file. I am not supposed to delete that file. Or I want to see the contents of the file in my friend's login. I am not allowed to see the contents of the file in my friend's login because the reason is that you are not authorized user to access that file. You are not authorized user to view that file. Authorized user is your friend only. Authentication in the sense, unless and until you do authentication like username and password, you cannot access Gmail. Unless and until you do authorization, you cannot withdraw money from the ATM machine. So authorization and authentication means where username and password is required, where you require something to restrict the user, that is called authentication. Also we can see some like OTP and these things, that is also part of authentication. Like students want to, at the admission time, student want to pay the fees, so they goes to online banking where they give username and password, so that is also called authentication. So authentication and authorization plus additional measure such as, we will see now. There are two types of access control. One is physical access control, second one is logical access control. Physical access control limits access to campus, building and IT assets. Like students are allowed to do practicals, then thumb recognition of the staff members, that is called physical access control. Logical access control limits connection to computer and data. Like we are having BCS server in our lab, but at the most only 50 students can sit in the lab to do the practical, not more than that, because the limit of that server is only 50 users at a time. And since we are having batch wise student, so it is possible that only 20 to 25 students will sit in the lab. But if there are more than 50 students, then the server may go down, because the limit of connection to computer is only 50. Access control are security features that control users and system communicate and interact with other system and resources. Now access control. Access control is flow of information between subject and object. Subject is an active entity that requests access to a resource or data within resource. Just now we have seen user, process, program, resource or computer, printer, file. Once you know that user via authorization level they have and what we should do to not to give access authorization. Access control is a combination of authorization and authentication plus additional measures such as clock. Now what is reference monitor? Reference monitor in the sense, subject need to access the object. Now you might be knowing that when you want to install any uninstall or you want to install any software on the Windows operating system, you need to access the admin login. Unless and until you access the admin login, you cannot install the software. So that is example of reference monitor. Okay, like reference monitor in the sense, we can say log files. Log files are visible in the root login only, not any other login. Okay, log file indicates in the sense, we have seen previously also in stenography we have seen log files, why they are used, because you want to find the who has access how many times the server and this thing. So so in that case there is something called policy. Reference monitor something called policy. Now only admin can delete the file, normal user cannot delete the file. That is also best example of reference monitor. That means root user in Linux can have only access all the user, no other normal user have access to all user. So that is about the reference monitor. Subject want to access object files or data, so they need to access through username and password. They should not access directly. They should follow some rules and regulation. They should follow some operating system policies. That is important. You cannot uninstall, you cannot install files in the computer in Windows operating system. You need admin. You should be admin. So reference monitors is controlling element in hardware and operating system of computer that request access of subject to object of security parameter of subject and object. The reference monitor has access to file known as security kernel database. That's what I was telling you. The list of access privileges of each subject and protection attributes of each object means there is authorization to access the object in case of reference monitor. The reference monitor enforce security rules. Why security rules are enforced? Because we need to protect the data, we need to protect the file, because the file carries a lot of importance. We need to maintain, we are studying cyber security because we want to secure the data. Complete mediation. The security rules are enforced on every access. For example, file is open and deleted or not. Isolation. The reference monitor and database are access protected from unauthorized access. That's all. Since you restrict to the user with username and password, your system is secure. Because if MSc Computer Science, all students are doing practical at a time, everyone should have username and password. Unless and until they should not be allowed to sit on the computer. And if any third per student came which is not of modern college and is trying to accessing the system, he is not having username and password, that means we can restrict the unauthorized access. Intruders. What are intruders? Intruders in the sense protection of organization assets depend much on technical controls. That means we are also having a web server in our modern college pune.com, and we have also different logins on the different web server we have. So we protect our web server. That is the main motto of our system admin. Protection of organization assets depend much on technical controls. How is your admin? How does it manage? How he protects the data? How he is controlling the data? Which data is important? Which data should be exposed and which data should be kept confidential? So these things are managed by the administrator, network administrator. Protection of organization asset depend on much of technical control. Technical solution guided by policy and properly implemented are essential to the information security. Now, intrusion system means unauthorized access to the system resource and data. So, intrusion system means unauthorized access to system resources and data. In that case, I will tell you, just like what we can say, if any unauthorized person came in our college and he was having pen drive with lot of virus, and indirectly he inserted that pen drive in his system, and the virus was there in our system, and he went off. So in that case, this should be very painful. It should not happen in our college. So why should not happen? So what to do? This is called unauthorized access to system resources and data. So these things are called unauthorized access to system resources and data. Suppose MSc Computer Science practical is going on, exam is going on, all students are doing practical exam, solving paper, and suddenly one student came that demanding that he is also student of modern college, and while login he accessed the server and he deleted all the service, he stopped all the services on the server, and suddenly server goes down and the exam creating problem in the exam. So these things should not happen. This thing should not happen at the time of exam. Intrusion means disturbing what normal operation is going on, disturbing that. That is called intrusion. Intrusion means unauthorized access to system, resource and data. These are intruders on that try to intrude means situation in which you are not wanted into privacy of network. Intruders are hackers that try to intrude the situation in which you are not wanted is to privacy of network. We have seen in chapter virus that keylogger, then different types of virus we have seen, keylogger, then we have seen worm virus. Okay, so these are the intruders who try to disturb the system. Okay. So types of intruders. Types of intruders. Intruders are one that try to intrude the situation in which you are not wanted into privacy of the network. Now, types of intruders are masquerader users, misfeasor user and clandestine users. First of all, we see masquerader users, unauthorized user. It is the user who does not have authority to use computer. It has no authority to use the system. This user trusts to access the system by some sort of hacking techniques. It penetrates the security system as a legal status. Hackers captured password with administrator login. Now, just I told you, suppose one student came in our lab. He was not student of our modern college, but by chance he got the login which was open, and he was knowing the server password, and he accessed the server and deleted some files on the server and disturbed the server that it should not be wanted by you or your college, and he disturbed the server, and server was in inconsistent state, means not normal state. So this such type of user are called masquerader users, who means that guy was not student of modern college, but still he came into college. Login was open, and he tried to access through login the server, and he tried to delete some files on the server, tried to stop the services on the server. So such type of users are called masquerader user, means who are not belonging to our organization, but still they are third party, but still they are accessing the server. Next is misfeasor users. Misfeasor user in the sense these users are of two types. Legitimate user means those are legal user who don't have permission to use the same application, but still it is doing it. Means we can say that student is having access to only write the C program and do the C program, but the student is accessing the internet. That means he is a regular user, but he is misguiding it, he is misbehaving it. That means he is accessing the internet, he is doing the C practical, but since he is accessing the internet, it may possible that he takes every program from the internet and run it and show to the sir that faculty that I have done the program. So this thing can happen. So such type of user are called mischievous user. That means that user is there in our college and he is trying to cheat the faculty. Internet access second year type legitimate user. Legitimate user misuse permission, or students student tries to copy program from one login to another login, that is also example of misuse user. Employee don't have to do official work at home, but one user accidentally access and misuse and send work to home. Official work cannot be email, that is important. So that is all about the misuse user. Means here the user is not, the hackers is not third party, he is there in our college only. Clandestine user, they try to gain access by supervisor and they access illegal part with authentication of supervisor. Now here one thing was happened. Now suppose many times you open the login Gmail or whatever it may be, or any website or any online banking, the browser asks whether you want to save the password. The browser asks whether you want to save the password in the browser, and if you say yes, then next time you are not allowed to take username and password, you get directly login. So if this such type of thing is done by faculty, then it should be very ridiculous, because if staff is storing username and password for mark entry in browser, anyone can browse directly, and if student is sitting near staff, then he may change the marks. Okay, so that is all about the access control, intruders and types of intruder. Thank you.